Right now, let's talk with the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who's on the phone with us. Senator, it's such a sad occasion to have you with us tonight, but we do thank you for taking the time. If I could, your memories of Charles Krauthammer.
Well, as everyone has said, he was in a class by himself. My first memories are about talking about the Washington Nationals. We found ourselves in frequent agreement on issues, and he was, of course, really the intellectual right of center who defined so much of what we did in the right of center world, both in the Congress and out across the country. But every time we talked, which was quite often, we started with the Washington Nationals. He loved them, knew a lot about them, and talking baseball was what we enjoyed the most. I actually met him through my friend George Will, who, of course, is the baseball expert of all times. Yes. But Charles was a close second.
Senator McConnell, in these days when the political discourse to a large degree really has deteriorated and the polarity in this country has increased to a degree where it has really seen a lot of anger in terms of people, talking across the aisle or the fence at each other. Charles was a conservative commentator and columnist who had the ability to sort of cross over both sides and have, even if you didn't agree with them, you respected his opinion. What was it about him that allowed him that?
Well, first of all, his intellect wowed you. And I think anybody who was around Charles knew it was not a good idea to be screaming, because he was going to handle himself in a classy way, respectful discourse. And it was a good object lesson for all of us in politics who have a tendency from time to time to raise our voices.
Mm-hmm. And what is it about him, other than your discussions about the Washington Nationals, that you will remember most? What will you hold with you about Charles?
Well, overcoming such adversity and leading such a consequential life is an inspiration to all of us. Most of us have setbacks of one kind or another, but nothing coming close to approaching what he had to deal with throughout his life, and to become really the intellectual leader of thought right of center for all these years is an astonishing accomplishment.
It certainly is, and he will be remembered by all of us for being able to overcome such adversity and to maintain such a good sense of humor as well. That's the one thing that both Brit Hume and Bret Baier talked about. Do you recall his sense of humor?
Oh, he was fun. There was nothing better than a conversation with Charles Krauthammer. Of course, he knew so much more than any of the rest of us. Your first reaction was, I'm afraid I'm going to say something stupid. But even if you had, he wouldn't have taken advantage of it. He was a lovely man in every single measurable way, and what a life of consequence.
Yeah. Senator McConnell, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time and sharing your memories of Charles with us.
Thank you.
All right.